నారా చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు అనే నేను,
నిజల పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ అనే నేను,
నారా లోకేష్ అనే నేను
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్ర ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
Well, viewers, today's top story is Andhra Pradesh and what the TDP has done to revive itself in Andhra and the people, of course, behind it. From once being opposition's favorite target to really emerge as the architect of TDP's resurgence, the journey of Nara Lokesh, the son of newly appointed Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, really reads like a script from a blockbuster movie. Now, we should also note here, viewers, that Lokesh has been instrumental in revitalizing the party by adopting modern campaign strategies, leveraging social media and even appealing to the youth demographic. His focus on grassroots mobilization and innovative policy initiatives has really looked like breathed a new life into the party, drawing in fresh supporters as well. Now, all viewers should note here, just 5 years ago, there were doubts that were lingering, even as TDP was saying that they will do well, but within the party itself, whether Lokesh is the man that they need and does he have the political acumen was questions that were coming up, especially after his defeat in the Mangalagiri constituency. However, Lokesh had different plans. Despite setbacks such as Naidu's brief, incarceration last year over allegations related to the Skill Development Corporation scam, Lokesh continued to persist. Now, fast forward to 2024, of course, the combined efforts of power star Pawan Kalyan, the resilience of cyber neta Chandrababu Naidu and Lokesh's strategic master plan have all propelled the TDP to a massive victory. And we saw today, of course, that grand oath-taking ceremony. 135 seats is what they had got in the 175-member assembly. This victory not only secured Naidu's fourth term as the chief minister, but also saw Pawan Kalyan really sworn in as his deputy. Now, Nara Lokesh, of course, faces challenges of upholding the trust that has been bestowed upon his party by the people of the state. Now, while we look at all of these developments, we should note that many questions were asked before. Whether Nara Lokesh is going to be the man to watch out for, whether he can really do things for the party that he speaks of. But right now, it looks like there is a lot of clarity with, the results that have come in. And more importantly, now with the numbers that they've got, they can really go ahead, perform wholly as a government to ensure that the promises that they've made, especially the guarantees and so on, all of that can be delivered in its fullest. Now today, of course, we are going to have a team of panelists, of course, who are going to join us today to try and decipher what exactly happened here, what went right for the TDP, what went right for Nara Lokesh, and also whether they'll be able to live up to the expectations of the people. Karuna Gopal, leader from the BJP, is with us. We have JVC Sriram, political strategist and commentator from Hyderabad. He'll also be joining us very shortly. Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst, as well today with us. I'll first go across to Karuna Gopal of the BJP. Karuna Gopal, how do you really look at this performance of the TDP today? Was a big day, especially when you consider the legacy of the TDP. We've seen, of course, before 3-time chief minister, but now Chandrababu Naidu, of course, overtaking the TDP legend himself and being sworn in for a 4th time. And all of this wouldn't have been possible without a lot of efforts, without a lot of strategies, and all really coming together. According to you, what really went right for the TDP? And if you could also, along with that answer, to live up to the expectations and the promises, what needs to be done in the future?
Deepak, TDP is a very old party, and the leader of the party has steered it into premier position many, many times. They got their act together. They appealed to diverse sections of society, especially the very fact that I hear constantly from everyone now, especially in this election, is the role played by Nara Lokesh, who apparently was working incessantly only with the youth. And I think that strategic move of ensuring that he worked only with the youth, I think made a lot of difference. Then let's not also forget the alliance partner Pawan Kalyan is a magnet. He's a real power star. He pulls people together. So I think it's a very formidable mix of people. Pawan Kalyan leading the whole thing with his let's say star appeal. Then Chandrababu Naidu with a legacy of having been at the helm of affairs, running a state for such a long time. Then he's known as a visionary leader. I mean, he is also called the CEO. And now deploying, like we say, firing from all cannons. I think they got their act right. And I think people also wanted a change. And they gave them a chance, and we couldn't be more happier.
Okay, for the BJP, how are you going to really look at some of these aspects? Because, be it a reservation issue, you've had a different stand. Muslim reservation, that's something that has been spoken about, and Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, of course, has been vehemently opposed to that. Some other topics here, as far as functioning in the state, do you feel that the BJP here, how are you going to look at personal growth for the party as well? At the same time, of course, you'll have to look at the trust and continue to maintain that loyalty with your, NDA partner, the TDP there.
I don't foresee any problems at all. I mean, our partnership is going to stay. I mean, it has the staying power because two leaders like Modi ji and Chandrababu ji, known for their iconic leadership styles and their visionary leadership styles, will perhaps work together, and that is a given. Well, coming to the reservations part, if you have seen during Modi ji's time, we haven't ever said anything against Muslims. In fact, in the last 10 years, Muslims have prospered under the leadership of Modi ji. For instance, look at all the yojanas.
We're not talking about whether you said anything about Muslims. We're talking about the specific aspect of, removing a reservation given to Muslims, and, where the comment came in that, OBCs and SC/STs were probably being affected. This was a comment that came in. I was asking about that particular statement.
Okay. No, so I'm just trying to give you the background. There's nothing against, Muslims from the BJP side. What perhaps the Prime Minister repeatedly said was that there is, in the Constitution, there is absolutely no provision for reservation based on the religion. So that is the only contentious part. And we will sort out our issues. This is not a very big thing. As I said, the community per se is very close to our hearts, and we have done everything. Sabka Vikas is only that. And these
so minor... the BJP will not be a roadblock to the TDP in this implementation in Andhra Pradesh. Is that what you're saying? So the BJP will not be a roadblock?
Will not be a roadblock. No.
Right. Okay, let me also bring in Abbas here. Abbas, how do you really look at this? Because, a lot of criticism came in for, Congress in Karnataka, Congress in Telangana, that, well, they've come to power talking about big promises, huge expenditure, whether there'll be any sort of development in the state. These were questions that were asked. Now, there are Super 6, of course, that the Andhra government will have to deliver. The people have reposed faith in Chandrababu Naidu. Whether, financially it's viable, and do we really look at Chandrababu Naidu struggling fiscally over the next few years to ensure that he lives up to the promises, or is it going to be smooth sailing? Abbas, I believe you're on mute. If you could unmute yourself and then speak.
Sure, thank you. I think it's going to be absolutely interesting as to how Chandrababu Naidu is going to lead from here. I differ from certain points made by the Bharatiya Janata Party. There was an absolute anti-incumbency against Chandrababu Naidu, Jagan Mohan Reddy. The same reason, the same advantage that brought in this with the TDP, the Telugu Desam Party. They rode high on the success of the anti-incumbency. I'll share a quick anecdote with you, Deepak Sahab. I was at Kurnool for a very important event last year. I met a couple of youth there, and they were very unhappy. There was anger in there. They were not happy with Jagan Mohan Reddy because he was not providing the jobs that he always promised to the youth. So therefore, over 1 year, the youth has not certainly been happy. Undoubtedly, a Nara, Lokesh, or any other party member of the TDP must have run the length and breadth. But a strong pattern, if you see in Andhra Pradesh, they have never really voted the same party time and again. If it was YSRCP, then it is TDP now. Also coming to the next point that Karunaji mentioned, ma'am, you mentioned that there's been nothing really against the Muslim party and all of that. I agree with you. But I think Modi ji, as a Vishwaguru, as a global leader and a prime minister, should have abstained from making statements during the election rallies like Zyada Bacche Karne Wale, Ghuspetiya, and also Sharia law will be implemented and so on and so forth, which was uncalled for. And the places he made those statements, he lost both the seat, be it Banswara or the other place. Also, we need to understand that this Hindu-Muslim politics is not going to work. Muslim reservation is one thing which Chandrababu Naidu has always spoken is indeed the need of the hour. Therefore, when BJP vehemently opposes
but
the
as far as Andhra politics is concerned, Mr. Abbas, now here you have Mr. Naidu hasn't come to power with a small margin. It's a thumping majority that he has. The BJP is really a small player as far as Andhra is concerned. They are saying that they're not going to be roadblocks. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has made his stand very clear in the past about the Muslim reservation and other aspects. Now, what I want you to really comment on here is it going to be, a struggle for him to control and tame the BJP here in Andhra Pradesh, even despite having this huge majority for him? And also, fiscally, how difficult is it going to be with the guarantees that he's promised?
Well, Deepak Saab, if you see, even Jagan Mohan Reddy was an outside ally of the Bharatiya Janata Party, but he did face roadblocks. With respect to Andhra Pradesh, he wanted a special status, he wanted huge grants and so on and so forth. Also, if you look at this front, yes, TDP, Chandrababu Naidu is an ally of the BJP, Narendra Modi of the National Democratic Alliances. But it is going to be interesting, like I said earlier, as to how they are going to go ahead with all the plans that Chandrababu Naidu has. Not just that, even with the dream of Amravati, which very, I would say, futuristic town that they are looking at. Also, how the funds are going to come in. A real relationship will be tested on the times. Whether the center is going to allocate enough funding to the project Amaravati and also the Andhra Pradesh at the length. So this, I would definitely say that time shall answer it accordingly. And also, we need to remember the fact that I'd like to repeat myself and tell you that Chandrababu Naidu is one leader from the south of India who have always stood with the Muslim reservation. But so BJP vehemently opposes the same. Because here in Karnataka, we saw the Basuraj Bommai government bringing the 4% under the OBC quota to a 2%. We really need to see how the Bharatiya Janata Party at the center and Chandrababu Naidu with the Telugu Desam Party in the state, how they are going to work this out.
No, in Karnataka it was quite different. They tried to cancel that reservation, split it among the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas. That matter, of course, is in court. It's sub judice. So that hasn't really taken effect in Karnataka. But yes, I get what the point that you're trying to make. JVC Sriram is also back right now. He's a political strategist. Of course, been closely observing what's been happening in Andhra Pradesh. Here, when you look at this, Mr. Sriram, this huge celebration today, the oath-taking, a grand affair. Is it going to be as smooth as it was today in the coming days for, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister?
Good evening to all. We have been observing Chandrababu Naidu in the national politics right from 1996. And what has happened is... One second, there is an audio problem here. Okay.
We can hear you very clearly, Mr. Sriram. You go ahead.
National politics is concerned since 1996. Yeah. And when we look at it, the way he has maintained his relationship, either with the United Front or when it was in NDA, it is very, very clear that Chandrababu Naidu wants to put development as the main agenda as far as 2024 to 2029 is concerned. Because the kind of promises he has given, and we have seen the infrastructure. In fact, when your sister channel Times Now was doing survey, and initially when they were giving it to YSRCP, I was saying that I've been traveling to Andhra Pradesh many a times to the urban areas. There was an voter apathy against YSR. There was a huge amount of anti-incumbency, and the way Chandrababu Naidu is looked at is basically that this mandate has been given for the development, because 10 years on, the capital is not there. You know, look at Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Today, within a matter of few years, Jharkhand had Ranchi, Chhattisgarh had Raipur, and they have built the capitals from the scratch. But here, what happened? Between 2014 and 2019, Amaravati was touted as a capital, but unfortunately, Mr. Naidu was very, very particular about the special package, and he was also afraid that Jagan would raise that issue in a big way, as a result of which he withdrew support to NDA, and he knew what happened at the end of the day. He got hammered in the as far as the elections are concerned. And in 2019 to 2024, the way YS Jagan has carried out this three capital theory, lack of development, lack of infrastructure, it's very clear that the people of Andhra Pradesh want capital to be fixed. Because you must be knowing pretty well that Andhra Pradesh is one of the very peculiar states where you have an extraordinary fertile sand or fertile soil. Because, you know, 3 times a year you can do harvest, crop cultivation. 365 days you can do the agriculture activity, and it has the second largest coastline in the entire country. You have huge temples there. One of the biggest temples in the revenue coming from Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam is located in Andhra Pradesh. And you also have great entrepreneurial people in Andhra Pradesh. And when you have all these things, and Rayalaseema is a place where you can have a lot of industries, because, you know, that's not a great agricultural land. And you have coastal Andhra Pradesh and the Godavari and Krishna belts where there's a lot of agricultural activity going on. You have Vizag, which has got refineries. You've got Vijayanagaram, which has got pharmaceutical business happening.
He's already, of course, made that announcement about the capital and which he is going to focus on. He's also made that announcement of the financial capital. So that's an issue that, of course, he's already laid to rest in terms of giving clarity as to what his government will do. Now, Mr. Sriram, I also want you to quickly comment on the aspect of the 6 guarantees as well that Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has spoken about, the Super 6 that many say. Will he be able to really live up to that, considering there has to be a lot of money that needs to be pumped in on various other aspects, the economy needs to get more robust, there needs to be more income generated for the state as well. Can he, and by July, some experts suggest that he needs about 10,000 crores to, start initiating some of these guarantees even?
See, I think he will have to roll out these guarantees in a phased manner, because he will not be in a position to do it all in once. Because see, guarantees at the end of the day, we have seen in Telangana. I'm sitting in Telangana in Hyderabad and doing this entire program. Now, we have seen the kind of guarantees which have been given by Mr. Revant Reddy and how he is facing difficulties and obstacles. So let's be very clear. I do not think he can roll out all the 6 guarantees in one go. It has to be in a phased manner. Even Mr. M.K. Stalin, who had promised 1,000 rupees to women, almost took more than 2.5 years since then he delivered it. So what will happen is, it has to be done in a phased manner. But what has to be delivered immediately is the work, starting the work on the capital and the Polavaram project. These are the 2 important priorities. And of the 6 guarantees, probably I do not know which one he would take first, which one he would take second, but I am 100% sanguine that he is not going to go hammer on tongs on all the 6 guarantees immediately. They do not have that kind of money. They do not have that kind of funds available. Yes, Centre is going to support them, but Centre is going to support them more in terms of funding for the capital and the Polavaram project. I know pretty well that is going to happen from the Centre. But guarantees, it will take a little bit of time before actually it moves on.
And Mr. Sriram, very quickly, as far as this win is concerned, it's a huge margin. Who do you credit to? Is it Nara Lokesh, his strategies that really worked? Is it the popularity of Mr. Naidu? Is it, anti-incumbency? Or is it these promises?
So let's come from one thing. Nara Lokesh was touted as a Papu of Andhra Pradesh. But this man went on a Padayatra. something very akin to what Jagan Mohan Reddy had done before. Now that struck a chord with the people. There was an anti-incumbency. But the big blow to Jagan Garu came when Chandrababu Naidu got arrested. When Naidu Garu got arrested, there was a huge frenzy amongst the people. And the way Lokesh conducted himself and managed the affairs those times, it was very good. But still, was it enough to deliver this kind of a mandate? Absolutely no. That is the reason why I keep stressing again and again, the man of the moment, the man of this match is basically Pawan Kalyan. Because Pawan Kalyan for once believed that if Jagan had to be defeated, he needed Chandrababu Naidu. So he was unrelenting in his support towards Chandrababu Naidu. He said, we are forming the government. But at the same time, if the people of Andhra had to believe that this government can deliver and a replacement is possible, now he wanted the central government to be with them. That is the reason Pawan Kalyan also believed that without BJP in Andhra Pradesh, TDP and Janasena alone would not be enough. Although BJP is not an extremely popular party, but the public perception that Jagan had a better relationship with Modi ji, as a result of which he might get things better. But once Pawan Kalyan decided that he is going to bring BJP onto the alliance, then it was crystal clear, well settled. So it's a teamwork. Lokesh played the initial innings. It's like a Lokesh playing that swashbuckling innings like how Sehwag or somebody would give a start, and then solidification. You know, the Tendulkar or Rahul Dravid's role was done by basically Pawan Kalyan, and the finishing act was that of the Naidu. I think he finished it in style like that of a Dhoni by ensuring that everything is put together, and he presented the right picture, and that was a kind of a winning moment as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned.
Well, you put it well there. Let's hope, of course, they can keep up this performance for the people of Andhra Pradesh who put faith in them and, live up to the promises, live up to the expectations, and more importantly, of course, bring holistic growth for the state of Andhra Pradesh. It's been interesting, of course, to hear from all our panelists and get various perspectives. It's good. It's an important day in Andhra Pradesh, and we saw that massive oath-taking ceremony, and let's hope that in the coming days there are good things to come for the people there through this governance.